So, one of the things that I have been very excited for about this show is that you guys have taken a story that is typically an American story and what we think about is American, and you've changed it so that people can view what American is from like different perspectives. And like I just talked to Lisette, and she was talking about the indigenous history, and in the panel you guys are talking about like about saying the story from the eyes of an immigrant. And so I was wondering, why did you guys go in that direction, and why does this particular like type of character matter to you guys, that you guys wanted to tell this story?
I think that, like we said, Ben Gates his family probably came out the Mayflower, but we all come from somewhere. And like I said, my dad was from Ireland, so he wasn't even an American citizen, so I was like first generation. And Marianne's family is
Mexican heritage. And we just, America's made up of so many different people, so we were just like, well, we've done that story, let's do this story down here in the South. We also wanted to go to the Mississippi. We wanted to go to Baton Rouge. There's a lot of stuff down there, that stories that you can tell, a different kind of colony. We have the North colonies, we have the Spanish colonies down in the South. We thought that was an interesting area to explore. But then basically the DACA of it all, though, that was so important because, and we had a DACA writer in our room, a young gal named Paula, and she brought real, she told us stories like, she came here as a kid and she really feels American, but a lot of times these DACA kids don't know that they're not American until they get their driver's license or tell their parents they want to get their driver's license, and then they find out they have no papers. And we were like, whoa, that's such a good and interesting story, and to us they're just as American as anyone else, so that's why we were like, this story has got to be our heroine. That's where she came from. She's important to us, so I'm glad she's important to you, like her story. Because it really isn't about, we always say this, it's not about the treasure, like the treasure, whatever. Our treasure is very cool, but that said, it's about like it's like who buried it? Why did they hide it? Who were these people that hid it? And why are the people looking for it? Why is Catherine Zeta-Jones' character looking for it? Why is Jess looking for it? And it can't just be about the money. That's a Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
How does it make them whole? And finding the treasure will make them whole.
It's such a big challenge to continue a franchise so beloved. I was wondering what key elements from the original you guys optioned to keep, and what did you think it would be a nice twist to bring to the series, besides the history part already mentioned?
Well, we wanted to keep the edutainment, educational entertainment. Everybody went to the National Archives after the first movie came out. They had a new exhibit. They showed the movie to people and stuff. So we liked that aspect. So we wanted to bring that. We wanted to bring historical figures that people hadn't heard about. We also wanted to focus on the women this time. So we have women in history in this show, as opposed to I think we have some guys too, but we wanted to go.
That's awesome.
So we wanted to go, and that's why we have a female antagonist with Catherine. Instead of we done Ed Harris was great and Sean Bean was great, but like who's the woman that's going to fit the pantheon of antagonists? And it's like we were so stoked to get Catherine.
Yeah.
Amazed. So I don't know if I answered the question.
You did, because that would be the twist, that we did a woman as from the original.
But everything else is the same.
Everything else will feel
we have puzzles.
very familiar.
Lisette's very much a nerd, puzzle-solving nerd, and the capers, this justified thievery of the show. Like, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. Like that, we had to keep that. On all the characters. Well, Catherine's Billy has a huge backstory. Like her family, I'll let you eat, honey.
No, but
her family, her story, and why she is who she is a huge part of the show. And her mystery of why she does what she does is really important. And why she surrounds herself with the people that she surrounds herself with is all related.
She read the pilot script and she was interested in Marianne. We were like, she wanted to know what her character was, so we got on Zoom and Marianne pitched her backstory.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't want to.
Said, I like that, I'll do it.
And then we immediately.
Very detailed. Then we were like, oh crap, now we have to write good dialogue.
Yeah, this is Catherine
Zeta-Jones.
She's amazing. So, yeah.
There's obviously a lot of fact checking that has to go into do a show that's based mostly, not based, mostly, but it has a lot of history in it. Is there anything that you guys like shot out there? You know, history professors were like, we can't do that.
Oh, everything. So when we did the movies, when we weren't kidding, we had our daughter's 4th grade history book, and we're like, oh, okay. And we knew some stuff like Silence Do Good and all that stuff, and Mearson Pipe. But the second one we had Google, so we could Google that and go, oh, Resident Death. This one, we had a building of experts. We had the Smithsonian reading our scripts and saying, you can do this, you can't do that, you can do this, you can't do that. It's been vetted to the end.
It's very accurate.
It's like, oh my God, it's more accurate than anything you can imagine.
But yeah, you know what I would say, when we did the lemon on the back of the Declaration of Independence, that would not have made it in the movie today, because that is like a, hey, I'm sorry to all the historians that are listening to this. I still apologize about it to this day, because they are so mad at us for putting lemon juice on the back of the Declaration of Independence. We would have had to figure out another way to do it, because that would have happened.
Did you guys do it on the actual literal declaration?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
But the idea that we even suggested it makes historians mad, because they're like, you can't do that.
Yeah. So we realized.
No, so will there be a season 2, and will it be with the same characters?
If there is a season 2, it'll be with their same characters. It's up to Disney Plus. It's up to you guys whether you guys like it or not.
Yeah, it is. It's up to the fans. Yeah.
Is it a one mystery season? Like, does it
Yes.
spark the whole season?
Yes. It's a 10-hour movie. We structured it like a movie. There's one treasure, there's one bad guy. It's like the movies. We did Templar, we did the City of Gold, and this is a new one. And then if we're lucky enough to get a season 2, we'll move on to another treasure, God willing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.